Hello, everybody. Oh, here goes my part right here. Welcome. Y'all just deal with me one. I got one story up. I'm trying to find the other story. Why did this slip by me? Oh, no. Oh man, come on. Okay, you guys. I'll do you in a minute. Whoa, hello. Welcome, everybody. Why won't let me? Okay. Hey, y'all. Hold up a second. Okay, hold up a second, you guys. Hey, y'all. Hey. Hey there, Wanda. How you doing, my darling? Hey, Scooter Shirley. Let's get it. They here. Hey, Scooter. You guys. I know that Zoe is laying down. Y'all, I had got my new cellular phone, and I found it able to put the SIM card in it, but it let me watch movies and everything, but it not letting me call anybody. Then I had got my smart watch. I know everybody got one, but anyway, so well, I'm late. Ah, wait a minute, y'all. Y'all know how it is. I got to scratch and bring things up to me. Ah, my legs. Okay. Anyway, even down to my watch here, I got the smart watch. Yeah, I know everybody has one. I'm just a late one. Anyway, it would not let me. It was doing okay early part of the day until I put that SIM card in it, change it out. Then it went out. Y'all, how are you doing? We are in the middle of June. Shout out to all the beautiful Geminis that we did had a good time celebrating. Y'all is something that I know. Long as that is out here, we're gonna talk about it. And I'm gonna go ahead and do what I see others do, milk it for what it is, okay? With my non-paying behind. Okay, so just letting you guys know that I cannot call out on the phone. And no calls can come in until it says something about the mobile, something not connected. Anyway, but it still let me watch movies on it. Ain't that something? So anyway, you guys, I hope you guys can see me clear. Y'all, the surveillance camera had came out. The one they tried to dig a hole and throw it away and don't nobody see it in the school. Okay, the situation like this in school, you don't have no damn choice. I don't care what you say, school. School, you only got 1, 2, 3, or 4 damn lawyers, maybe 6 or 7. But the world is big, okay? It's bigger than those lawyers that you got. So somehow or another, the itchy yaya had got in the judge behind, and somehow or another it was released. So anyway, we're gonna watch this release, but the main thing that we're gonna watch is Alice, could you go and see, could you find that disclaimer? This is just a reaction video for disclaimer, copyright 1976. I'm just doing a recap on this story. I'm gonna be this one here is very, very short. I'm going to be the other one that I have is about like an hour, and I'm going to be cutting in and out of both videos. Simply is because that I don't want to get no copyright strike, and then again I want to walk everybody through and see could we get an understanding out of this here. I have a good friend now. I think he JDT. Me and him been hanging out, and so we're gonna be hanging out again. Only on his channel and my channel. Okay, so just want to let you guys know that. I've been watching him for a long time, and somehow or another, me and him hit it off with this here case here. So me and him gonna try to screen from both. Thank you, Boo. Gonna try to screen from both his people and my people. Okay, that's I think nobody don't over here don't know him. Anyway, so anyway, me and him have teamed up. Okay, so during the daytime, if you see me going live, because I'm working with a story with him. Okay, so it's good that you stay out here long enough, somebody will see you. Somebody will see you, and we'll call you out and see how you and them can collaborate in one. Let's get this story out here. Okay, now what you're gonna hear, what you're gonna see now, you're gonna see the fight, everything what happened. But the main thing why I call everybody here tonight is because that I want you guys to hear what Charleston White said about why did they break up. Why did they break up? And why he carried on like how he did. That's what I want you guys to hear. Meanwhile, let's go over here. Show this here video here. And let's back it up real slow. How we going to do this here? Okay, I'm going to share the screen right here. Okay. Come on here now. Share. Okay. Do everybody see that? Hey, you guys see that? Yeah, you see it. Hey, man. Oh, my God. Hold up.
Hello, Anthony is formally facing charges that could lock him up for life. But that's not the only big development in this case. We got our hands on details of a surveillance video of the alleged attack that killed Austin Metcalf. We will dive into what it shows. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart.
Okay, let's get to it. Oh, I don't want to play his music.
Even though the district attorney in Collin County, Texas, is going for a first-degree murder conviction of Carmelo Anthony, there are a lot of people who are taking that teen's defense, saying that he acted in self-defense. Now, what does the evidence say? At least the evidence that we know about at this point. The school district in Frisco, Texas, has said it has surveillance video of Anthony's confrontation with Austin Metcalf at that midweek track meet in April, where Anthony allegedly stabbed Metcalf in the chest and killed him. At this point, allegedly murdered him. We'll get into what that video reportedly shows in a moment, but here's what we know about what led up to that alleged attack on April 2nd in Frisco, north of Dallas. Austin Metcalf's and Carmelo Anthony's schools were competing at a track meet. If you've ever been to a track meet, you know that teams typically have spots around the track where athletes can hang out with their teammates in between events. In Austin Metcalf's case, he was with his twin brother and their teammates under a tent, according to police, because rain had started to fall and that delayed the track meet. Now, witnesses say another athlete who wasn't on Metcalf's team stood under the tent.
Okay, you guys
His
see it,
name
right?
was Carmelo Anthony.
You guys
Carmelo
see it?
Anthony, class of 2025, Centennial High School, Frisco, Texas.
Okay.
That's video of Anthony mic'd up for a football tournament for Carolina Sports District that we found on YouTube. He and Metcalf were both football stars at their Texas high schools. Metcalf was taking recruiting visits at some big schools like Arkansas. He planned to play at the next level, and Anthony also posted on social media that he was receiving scholarship offers to go play college football. You wonder now if that will ever happen because of what he allegedly did next on April 2nd. That day, Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf got into a confrontation under the tent. According to witnesses, Metcalf told Anthony to leave the team's tent, and at that point, Anthony allegedly reached into his backpack and said something along the lines of "make me." Here's what Austin's twin brother told WFAA-TV.
There was this kid, before I knew his name now, this kid was sitting under our tent at track. We asked him to move. He started getting aggressive and talking reckless. And my brother stepped in and said, "You need to move." He's like, "Make me move." Austin grabbed his backpack. The kid, I tried to whip around as fast as I could, but I didn't see the stab.
Police say as Metcalf went to move Anthony, Anthony pulled out a knife and stabbed Metcalf in the chest. Metcalf died in his twin brother's arms. What Anthony allegedly did next could be damning if his case goes to trial. Anthony allegedly ran to another part of the track after stabbing Metcalf. When police arrived, the first officer
wait a minute.
to
How
make
much
contact with Anthony wrote in the arrest report that he asked Anthony to put his hands in the air. Then Anthony allegedly said, quote, "I was protecting myself."
Okay, hold up. You guys remember when I was saying that, oh, he wear bruised very, very well if he got beat up? Okay, now the camera shows, I don't know how you guys watching it, but now the camera shows he got beat up. The camera shows, okay, let me leave that alone. Come on here. Come on, good. Come on back here. Now the camera shows really, I'm going to see, could I get it before I messed everything up all over again? Now it shows where he were beat up. There's a part, like I was saying, looking at his face and all that. Okay, let's go. Let's go right here. Come on now. Okay.
The officer also said that Anthony told him, quote, "He put his hands on me." And when the officer said that he had Anthony in custody, the teen allegedly said, and this is the damning part, quote, "I'm not alleged, I did it." Police say that Anthony ditched the knife and ran before he was arrested by officers who note in their reports that Anthony was hysterically crying when arrested, and he asked if Metcalf would be okay. Anthony was initially held on $1 million bond, but then the judge in this case, less than 2 weeks after he was arrested, lowered Carmelo's bond to $250,000, which he was able to make. Here's video. Per WFAA of Anthony walking free. He will have to wear a GPS monitor, be on house arrest, and he checks in with the court each Friday. And if he doesn't follow those rules, he will go back into custody. Before we get back to this episode of On the Case, I want to talk about something important, because a lot of the stories that we cover here at Law and Crime, you see them They show that life can be
let's
unpredictable,
go
and
right
having a
here.
great lawyer matters. And that's where our partners at Morgan & Morgan come in. In the
Hold
past
up.
few months,
Let's
Morgan &
go
Morgan
right
secured
here.
a $9.3 million verdict for a car crash in Florida.
Okay, let's go right here.
There is so much of this trial that is very visible playing out in the court of public opinion. A crowdfunding site has raised more than $500,000 for Carmelo Anthony's defense. People saying that they believe Carmelo is not a murderer and that he acted in self-defense. Anthony's family held a news conference saying they have become the victim of threats. Here's Anthony's mom speaking per KDFW.
In wake of this tragic incident, our family has been under attack. Whatever you think what happened between Carmelo and the Metcalf boys, my 3 younger children, my husband, and I didn't do anything to deserve to be threatened, harassed, and lied about.
And the tension between families has been
there
high.
You go.
At that same news conference, Jeff Metcalf showed up. He's Austin's dad. He was there. He stood in front of cameras and sunglasses and protest until he was escorted out per KTVT. Jeff Metcalf has also been vocal on social media, and he posted a response to the news that Carmelo Anthony, his son's alleged killer, had been indicted on a charge of first-degree murder. I'll tell you what he said in just a moment, but let's get to this grand jury indictment.
Earlier this spring, our community.
Okay, hold a second.
Exclusive Mortal Kombat
just deal with me
2
1 second. How you doing up there?
PC with Beam.
Okay.
Community was shaken by what happened at a school track meet in Frisco.
Hold on a second.
The violent loss of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf.
Collin County District Attorney Greg Willis posted that video on social media announcing that a grand jury has indicted Carmelo Anthony on a charge of first-degree murder. If found guilty, Anthony, who's now 18,
okay, everybody's seeing it, right?
99 years in prison. Jeff Metcalf, Austin's dad, posted on social media, quote, indicted first-degree murder, all in caps, with hashtag justice for Austin. Carmelo Anthony's defense attorney is named Mike Howard.
Mike Howard, your Dallas criminal defense lawyer, here to talk to you today about what to expect when you're looking to hire a lawyer.
This is a video of Howard posted on his office's Facebook page just to give you an idea of what he looks like, what he sounds like. Howard hasn't commented on the indictment of his client, but the Anthony family also has a spokesperson in Dallas-based minister Dominique Alexander, who posted this picture with Anthony after he was released on bond. He was the person who escorted Anthony out of court when he was able to make
Dominique.
Alexander went public with his reaction to the indictment, calling for people to pray for the Anthony family and saying in part, quote, to the racists,
Madison,
the bigots,
Dominique,
and those filled with hate who've targeted Carmelo, his family, and even myself, you do not intimidate us. We are not backing down. This case is yet another example of what it means to be Black in America, where even our self-defense is questioned, scrutinized, and politicized. My involvement, like many others, came as a direct response to the overwhelming hate, threats, and outside influence that have surrounded this case since day one. He also said, quote, there will be a trial. Another critical piece of evidence, if this goes to trial, will be this surveillance video that came from the Frisco Independent School District. The ISD has video from a camera that's mounted on the stadium of the alleged murder of Austin Metcalf. Now, the district is not releasing a copy of the video. They're not letting reporters take pictures of the video, but they did allow reporters to see it. WFAA in Dallas wrote that the video, it's wide angled of the stadium, and the incident happens in the small left corner of the screen. Quote, it's difficult to determine how many people are present or what exactly is happening at the tent. Around 9:55 a.m., a sudden movement is observed at the tent, but the alleged act itself is not visible. There are a lot of moving but heavily pixelated figures at the top of the bleachers, just above the tent and at the bottom of the tent. It appears to be sprinkling at the time, end quote. According to the TV station, that video is believed to be one of the pieces of evidence that was presented to the grand jury ahead of their indictment of Carmelo Anthony this week on a charge of first-degree murder. Joining us now is Bridget Williams, criminal defense attorney. Great to see you again. Thanks for talking about this story with us. What does this grand jury indictment mean for the case against Carmelo Anthony?
So this is just a regular routine process that has to happen for any felony case in the state of Texas. So any case that moves forward to an actual trial setting has to first go through a grand jury. So the thing is that a grand jury, they decide if there was enough probable cause for an officer to make an arrest. So it's a very stark difference from what the grand jury decides and what actually goes on in a trial. So the first step is the arrest that was made by the police officers, did it rise to the level of probable cause? So was there enough evidence? And then if it moves forward to that, past that point, goes to a trial, the burden is raised to beyond a reasonable doubt, which is much, much higher.
And Carmelo Anthony's now been indicted with first-degree murder. For it to be first degree compared to second degree, what will the district attorney in Collin County, Texas have to prove?
So first degree murder is pretty much meditated, intentional murder, right? I intended to do this. Here in Texas, second degree would be reduced down to a manslaughter charge, which gives not necessarily intent and doesn't also require premeditation or just, I intended for this to happen, the intentional killing of another. So that's the difference there. So it's a pretty straightforward thing there. Was there an intentional killing of another? And those are set elements that are set out in the Texas Penal Code.
And with that, because you look at what we understand police say happened at this track meet, and there was this altercation between Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony reaches in allegedly into his bag, and then Metcalf comes up to him, and then it feels very spur of the moment in some ways with the narrative that's been laid out. When you talk premeditated, you know, this isn't a case where he woke up this morning probably and felt like he was going to go stab somebody allegedly at a track meet. What's the time that fits in for it to be considered premeditated as opposed to being in the heat of the moment and something happens where I would assume it would be second degree murder?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think that that's something that would come out in the trial setting. However, in this situation, Carmelo Anthony, he admits to the killing of this other young man, right? He admits to it, and he states that he was defending himself. So he's saying, okay, I did intentionally kill him. I meant to do that, but it was because I was defending myself and I felt threatened. I thought that he was going to harm me in some way. I thought that he was coming for me to assault me, to harm me. So I was defending myself. So that's really the difference here. I think that it's more of that difference of his desire to say, well, I was defending myself, opposed to necessarily the timing.
The district attorney who released the video last night saying that the death of Austin Metcalf, it was a violent death, and Carmelo Anthony has been indicted after the evidence was presented to a grand jury on first-degree murder charges. You're in the Dallas area. What do you know about the district attorney in that county, Greg Willis?
Well, Greg Willis is, he's been the DA for a while over in Collin County. He was former prosecutor. He is someone who leads the DA's office pretty much fairly, I would say, in Collin County. But he is someone who's also going to be sure that he goes after the truth and pushes all of the DAs to do the same. But to make sure that you go after the truth, do it fairly, make sure that every person is receiving the justice that they deserve, and make sure that each officer is doing their job properly. And so that's really what any district attorney's job is, to present evidence, and the fact of all the evidence that's presented to them from the police department, provide that to the defense attorneys, and so that way that they can prepare for any trial setting and make sure that any defendant can present their case in a trial the best way they possibly can.
And in this case, let's talk about some of the evidence, some of the facts that have been laid out as far as what we're hearing from police. And I know we've talked about this before, and Carmelo Anthony's defense is going to be that I felt threatened and I had to turn to force, and that ended up in the loss of life of Austin Metcalf. Based on what the law says in the state of Texas about self-defense, how strong of a case does he have?
I'm going to say, in my personal opinion, I don't think it's very, very strong. And I'm just going to be honest with you. There's been such a, I guess, a very strong, just a heating, I guess, going on in the area where people are just upset about both sides, really on both sides. But what I would say is that he doesn't necessarily have a very strong argument there for self-defense. Hopefully his defense counsel has something that they're going to be talking about in trial that we haven't heard yet. But based off of just what the law is right now, you have, as self-defense, you have to bring equal force to whatever it is that is assaulting you or that you are presented with. So if someone is pushing you, you don't necessarily have the liberty to go back and shoot them with a gun or stab them with a knife, right? Equal force for pushing would be back with your hands, right? That is equal force. And so it rises above equal force for what we would consider for self-defense on paper.
Because we don't have, there is surveillance video that I know the school district showed reporters, but it seems from the description that you can't really see a lot of what happened. And we don't know that there's video to this point that exactly shows it. But could Carmelo Anthony argue, his attorneys argue, that an Austin Metcalf was being very physical with him, that it was more than pushing? I mean, when it comes to equal force, does it have to be a knife and a knife, a gun and a gun, hand-to-hand combat, as opposed to feeling threatened in a way that he was going to punch me in the face and it was going to cause me serious injury, so I had this knife and it's something that I had to use?
Yes, I think that's a great point. And those are the issues and the matters that the defense counsel will be raising, because those things are up to interpretation, right? And that's what's best for a trial setting. So again, on paper, it's supposed to be equal force. But when you move forward to a trial, the defense counsel is going to be discussing how he felt that this was in fact equal. This was the reason why he felt that he needed to do this in order to save his life, or why he felt it was necessary in order for him to walk away alive. So he had to do this, otherwise he didn't feel like he would have been able to walk away.
There's been so much of this case that as it heads forward, we don't have cameras in the courtroom. Judge Angela Tucker decided against that, but there's so much that's visually playing out outside of court. And there's been threats. The judge was threatened. The family of Carmelo Anthony has said that they have been threatened. You've seen Jeff Metcalf of Austin Metcalf's dad. You can't imagine what he is going through, having lost a son. So there's just a lot of that playing out. And a big controversial part of this has been the bond, and that Carmelo Anthony, here he is, accused of first-degree murder, but he's able to go home to his family after the bond was lowered from $1 million down to $250,000. What, from a legal perspective, went into that decision? Were you surprised that he was allowed out on bond?
Okay, so I would say I'm not surprised at all that he was allowed to be let out on bond. So first, this is a 17-year-old child. That's the way I look at it. He's a 17-year-old child. He doesn't have any criminal history at all whatsoever. In this particular case, he's saying that he felt threatened, his life felt threatened, and that's the reason why he decided to defend himself in this way. So that's his argument. When a judge makes the determination of how to lower a bond, they take into consideration the same things they take into consideration in every case. So when we have a bond hearing, what is the offense? Murder. Okay, we're at the highest level there. Then, does the person have any criminal history? No. Is the person a flight risk? Does he have the resources, means to go to Mexico or go to Dubai, right, and never come back? And does it come back for the actual trial setting? Does the family have the means in order to pay what the original bond amount was? The original bond amount in this case was $1 million. The family has stated and testified that they did not have the resources in order to do that. And then the last element there is he a threat to himself or to others? And in this situation, this is an isolated matter. He's not going around saying, hey, I'm going to shoot up multiple people, or I have a history of doing something like that to where I'm a violent person to society. In this situation, it's isolated. So he doesn't pose a threat to himself or to others. So the court allowed for the bond to be reduced down. And then the person can post that bond if he has the resources to do, which he was able to, but he still had to have an ankle monitor. So Carmelo Anthony can't leave his home without getting permission from Judge Tucker. So he is at his house. This is just allows him to not be in jail until the case is resolved, but to be at his home with his family until the case is resolved. I think sometimes people get the bond hearing confused with the actual trial setting. The only purpose of a bond hearing is, do you need to stay in jail, isolated here until the case is resolved, or can you go home and stay there until the case is resolved?
In the district attorney's announcement of the grand jury indictment, there was a line that talked about in Texas, if you're convicted of first-degree murder, you could spend 99 years in prison or you could spend 5 years in prison. And that 5-year mark, that felt very low for first-degree murder, just as an outsider kind of looking at it, because when you think of someone who's convicted of that crime, they're never going to get out of prison ever again. Who would ultimately, and we have a long way to go, but if this ends in a guilty verdict, who decides whether it is 5 years or 99 years?
Well, that depends on if the defense counsel goes to the judge or to the jury for punishment. So they decide to go to the judge, then Judge Tucker or whoever is the appointed judge would make that determination. And they use a series of factors to make that determination. Has the person, been in type of anger management counseling? Have they been doing any type of mitigating circumstances? They would take into account any criminal history, which he doesn't have any. They would take into account the testimony of the victim's family.
Okay, hold on a second, you guys. Okay, we get a little bit about what is going on right there. Let me see. Alice, could you hear me? Did you see it? Because I think some numbers went down in here. Okay, I think she dropped something. Okay, y'all, let's go over here. All this is alleged, and also to alleged truth is in it. Let's go over here and see Charleston White. This is the main thing. Charleston White, why he got up here and showed his ass. Okay, here we go. We're going over here on YouTube. And we're going to see why Charleston White, he sat down and did a thorough interview about what is going on with him. Why he had to go get out here and show his behind out here in these streets. So hold on 1 second. It's coming up. Keisha. Okay. Come on. Come on. Come on. I have it. Okay, y'all, if you didn't know, now we're going to show you. We're going to show you right now. We're going to show you their house, okay? I'm going to show you their house where they're living at. Those that ain't get to see it. Come on. No. I don't want to answer no question. None of the above. Okay, here we go. Now move. Move. Oh, God. Move thing. Oh, God. Not this computer going to start back. Okay, y'all. Let's go. Come on. What is it doing? Ugh. Okay. Okay, y'all. Now hold on a second. Hold up. Hold on a second. Replace. Oh God. Hold on a second. I got it. Oh, hold on a second. Okay, hold on. Let me try it out. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Oh, okay.
about accusations they've used money from a crowdfunding website to boost their lifestyle, including the accusation they moved into a $900,000 home. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime.
I want you guys to pay close attention. What they did with the money and boost their lifestyle. I hope that this is going to be right.
We have a lot to update you on in a case that we've been following out of Texas, in the Dallas area,
show you their house,
of Austin Metcalf, a high school athlete who was allegedly murdered by another athlete whose name is Carmelo Anthony. Let's talk about Metcalf first. He was a star athlete in football, but also in track, which is why he was at the track meet on April 2nd. He was MVP of his high school's football team. He was also an A student. He died after being stabbed at that track meet in Frisco, Texas on April 2nd. Now, the suspect in this case was a fellow athlete at this track meet competing for another high school. His name's Carmelo Anthony. He's charged with murder. This is video of him leaving jail this week after he posted bond. This video from WFAA TV. Now, the reason that Carmelo was able to post bond was it was significantly lowered after a court appearance this week. Judge Angela Tucker lowered it from $1 million to $250,000. Tucker did not allow cameras in the courtroom, but according to KDFW TV, Anthony's attorney said $1 million bond was too high and it wasn't necessary to keep Anthony from fleeing the charges. The attorney also argued, quote, this family
United Healthcare is celebrating Special Olympics athletes.
Let's all come together.
Because when we
family needs to be able to survive. Prosecutors argued that bond should be kept at $1 million because they say that is the standard bond amount for murder cases in Collin County, Texas. In the wake of the decision, the backlash against Judge Tucker has been fierce. You can see her account on X is now private. Collin County, Texas also put this out on social media saying, quote, we are aware of a social media post on this platform that appears to dox a sitting judge. Sharing a judge's private information is a crime and will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Tucker is a Republican and she's the first black judge in Collin County, which is near Dallas. She reportedly said in court during Anthony's most recent bond hearing that the security surrounding this case is already the most she has seen in her career. The backlash that Judge Tucker is receiving is so strong that according to TMZ, the FBI is now involved and she's getting extra security. Another big development in this case this week was the news conference that Carmelo Anthony's family held. Before we get into what took place there, I have to tell you about how we got to this point. We have police documents that say the track meet that Metcalf and Anthony were at, competing for different high schools, got delayed because of weather. Metcalf's team was under a tent waiting out the weather when Anthony went under that tent as well. This is what police say happened next. They say that Anthony was told to move and then he reached into his bag and said, quote, touch me and see what happens. Metcalf then touched Anthony to tell him to move, and Anthony then, according to a witness, says, quote, punch me and see what happens. Metcalf then grabbed Anthony again, and that is when witnesses say that Anthony took a knife out of that backpack and stabbed Austin Metcalf in the chest. Austin then grabbed his chest and called for help. He would die in his twin brother's arms. Here is what his twin brother told WFAA TV.
He's like, make me move. Austin grabbed his backpack. The kid, I tried to whip around as fast as I could, but I didn't see the stab. But then I looked at my brother, and then I'm not going to talk about the rest.
Anthony is arguing that all of this happened in self-defense. What he said to police when they first made contact with him, though, that really could come into play in this trial. One officer wrote that when they first made contact with Anthony, they told him to put his hands in the air, and Anthony allegedly said, quote, I was protecting myself. The officer also said Anthony told him, quote, he put his hands on me. But then an officer says when he radioed in that he had the alleged suspect, Anthony said, quote, I'm not alleged, I did it. Police say Anthony ditched the knife and ran before he was arrested by officers who note in their reports that Anthony was hysterically crying when arrested and asked if Metcalf would be okay. Anthony was charged with murder. Anthony initially was held on $1 million bond. That is until Judge Tucker's decision this week. So much of this case already is being tried in the court of public opinion, and a major example of that is the amount of crowdfunding money that has been raised, especially for Anthony's defense. Roughly $460,000 has been given to a fund on the site Give, Send, Go to raise money for Carmelo Anthony's defense. Now, Give, Send, Go, it's similar to a GoFundMe, but they have much looser community guidelines. GoFundMe does not allow pages for people to raise money for a legal defense if they're charged with a violent crime, which is why in cases like this one, you see the crowdfunding happening on Give, Send, Go. Anthony's Give, Send, Go page was launched by his family who write, quote, "We are grateful for your support during this incredibly difficult time for Carmelo Anthony and his family. The fundraiser has been established to provide comprehensive assistance to the Anthony family as they navigate the many challenges surrounding Carmelo's case." Prosecutors asked Anthony's father during the bond hearing why the family wasn't using the money to get Carmelo out of jail when his bond was at $1 million. To which the father reportedly replied that the site was not a, quote, bond fund. That was according to WFAA. This week, Anthony's family appeared at a news conference with the family spokesperson. Carmelo Anthony's mom spoke. She said that she, her husband, and Carmelo's 3 younger siblings have become the victims of threats. This is video per KDFW.
Our son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to.
Anthony's mom also responded to a report that her family moved into a $900,000 house according to Daily Mail. She says they have not received a dime of the money that has been crowdfunded for her son's defense.
The public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false. We have not received a single dime.
Another very notable moment at this news conference happened before it began, and it was Austin Metcalf's dad appearing in person in sunglasses, standing in front of cameras. It actually delayed the news conference from starting, and police had to be called. Take a look at this video from KTVT. That is Jeff Metcalf. You see him there in the sunglasses. The TV station says that he stood there for several minutes. It delayed the start of this news conference, and police were eventually called who escorted him out of the building. Joining us now to talk about this case is retired Judge Fanon Rucker. It's always great to have you on Law and Crime, and especially in a situation where we have a judge in Texas who has been the victim of threats. She's been doxxed. She needs extra security after a decision related to the bond of Carmelo Anthony. Just first for you, as someone who has been on the bench, you know what it's like. How would you approach this case?
So thanks for having me, and I'm glad to be here. You know, it's regrettable that this is not the first time that we're talking about the idea that a judge who is sworn and obligated to handle their cases with free of bias and any type of personal interest is threatened, is kind of subjected to public clamor about the decisions being made in the case. Again, it's not the first time we've talked about it. We've seen it. We've even seen some violent actions committed against judges for decisions that they make or how they handle cases. Over my career, during the 13 years I was on the bench, I handled over 300,000 cases of all types. And there were some that had public implications or that got a lot of public attention. There were most that did not. And the way that I would handle this case is the way that I handled all of my cases. I would make the decisions that I believe were the most appropriate decisions based on the law and based on the facts presented. As judges, we are held to an ethical canon that prohibits us from being swayed by, again, the public clamor that may exist in any particular decision that we're contemplating. And it's important that we as judges stick to that particular ethical rule.
It's not a glamorous job. Most people are like, oh, you're in pest control. You wouldn't eat if my industry didn't exist. It's not just.
When you look at a case like this, because so much of it is already being tried in the court of public opinion, how do you approach those types of cases to make sure that the noise that's going on outside is something that potentially doesn't taint a jury pool if this case is tried in Collin County, Texas, where this has been headline news? what is a judge's responsibility there in trying to maintain the order to make sure the defendant gets a fair trial and that potentially justice is served to the family of this young man who was killed?
Yeah, and that is one of the biggest kind of hurdles when it comes to cases of high publicity. Anytime a case, for whatever reason, garners public attention, there are going to be interviews. There are going to be news shows talking about it. There are going to be TV articles. And in our day of social media, my goodness, I've seen no fewer than 30 different versions of this incident just from scouring some parts of social media. It's not something that the courts, I think, have the capacity to contain. So the judges in those instances have a particular duty to ensure when it comes time to pick a jury, that those jurors can proceed to make decisions on the facts and not be tainted by the public information or bias that those public statements may have caused. The lawyers also have a particular duty. What I would suspect, considering, again, how much attention this case has gotten so far, is that by the time this goes to trial, the defense will very likely file for a motion to change venues or to move it to a different county.
That's what they
where
did.
It may not have gotten as much attention in that particular place as it has. And it'll be up to the judge to hear those arguments and to consider exactly what the basis of that argument and the law in Texas is, and make a decision whether it needs to stay there or have the jurors in that particular county make the decision.
Before we get to the decision that the judge in this case made related to Carmelo Anthony's bond, and that's been something that's been at the center of a lot of debate for people who are not in the legal profession, but just for you as a judge, it feels like now, especially in the age of social media, and look, here at Law and Crime, we cover court cases, it's what we do, and it's no longer just about the victim and the defendant or even the defense attorneys. Like, the judge has become a character in the story that is covered by the news media when you have high profile cases. Was that something you felt as a judge, that you and your decisions were part of that story, that almost you're a character? And I know it's not just this is real life, these are real people, but it seems like now the judges are criticized for their decisions more than maybe they were 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, there were some instances where, I knew going into the case that it was being watched and that there was a possibility that I would be criticized or celebrated depending on the nature of the decision that I made. But again, we have a specific ethical canon, and every state has different rules. But as a general proposition, judges are to put aside that noise. They're to disregard that when they're making their decisions. Now, the reality is, and I've said it on here before, and I reiterate it to friends of mine when I'm mentoring them on the bench, we are human. And because we are human, we have to take special care to ensure that we're not being swayed by what we personally experience or how we personally feel, and that we're sticking to those rules and the law when we're making our decisions. Did I feel in instances that my decisions were somehow impacted by my concern about how the public would be, would perceive it? I was very careful not to. And I think I built a strong reputation on that fact. But let me offer something to you. This judge, like many thousands of judges around the country, are elected officials. They are elected by their constituents. She is elected, and she was elected. I believe I read the first African-American judge in that particular county. She was elected by the people in that county who reviewed her record. They knew her name, and they decided this is the person that we want to speak on our behalf in the courts of this particular county. That does weigh heavy when it's time for re-election. How are my constituents going to view what I did? It shouldn't be a consideration, but again, judges are human, and every once in a while, that does seep into the water of consideration, unfortunately. I'm not saying it did here. In fact, I don't believe it did, just because of what I know about bail and the requirements of bail and the considerations. But that is certainly something that colleagues of mine across the country have dealt with.
Yeah, and I've heard, we talked to a defense attorney in Texas earlier this week, this judge very well respected in the community and in the legal community as well, She made a tough decision, probably one she knew there would be a lot of public outcry about, and it was lowering Carmelo Anthony's bond. It was at $1 million. She lowers it to $250,000, and Carmelo Anthony is able to get out of custody, and he's currently on house arrest. What do you make of that decision? How should people approach viewing that decision in this case?
What we do as a public, we hear the clips, we hear the news clips of instances. We read something on social media and we believe it because we see it on social media. What we don't have access to is all of the information that the police officers have as part of their investigation, because that's confidential law enforcement information that will only come out during trial, and some of it will never come out. What we don't have is all of the information that the prosecutor has received. What we don't have are the private communications between the family and the lawyer who represents the young man, the 17-year-old who's charged here. What we don't have is all the information that the judge has at her disposal and on her desk and in her chambers as she makes the decision what to do with bond. But what we do have is a sensational story that causes all of us to have a particular position based on history, based on our personal history, based on things we've observed or based on things we've experienced. And so we respond, and we respond emotionally. That shouldn't be, unfortunately, that shouldn't be how we respond as a community, but that is unfortunately what we do. And so I think that the judge here, well, first of all, let's understand, what is the purpose of bail? The purpose of bail is not to punish a person who is innocent unless and until proven guilty. The purpose of bail is to ensure that the person actually appears for court. And with bail reform that's taken place over the years, and I was part of bail reform in the state of Ohio when I was on the bench and shortly after I retired, bail should be individualized based on the person's circumstances as reviewed by the court. And I mean financial circumstances, I mean criminal prior history, I mean the heinousness or the benign nature of the offense for which they're being charged. We should be looking at a lot of factors, but not presuming that the person will be found guilty, because that's not what the court system is supposed to be, and that's not the purpose of bail. It's not a pretrial punishment. It's a pretrial procedure to ensure that this case will be heard and that the victim and the defendant will have their day in court. And that's the purpose of bail.
I want to turn to this case, and you're now a practicing attorney since you've retired from the bench. This is a self-defense case. That's the argument that Carmelo Anthony is making about this altercation he had with Austin Metcalf at this track meet. From what you've read thus far, what does his defense look like? How strong of an argument is there for self-defense in this case?
Well, again, what we don't have is all the information that Carmelo Anthony's lawyer has and what the prosecutor has. What we know from public stories, again, are 30 different versions of what actually occurred. That they were at a track meet, that they had a prior confrontation, that this young man had been bullied prior by Mr. Metcalf and his brother, that this particular instance, he had a right to be under the tent, and when it was raining and he was told not to, even though somebody else had told him. I mean, there are so many different versions. It's very difficult to know specifically what would be the basis of the self-defense, other than the argument that this young man in Texas had a right to defend himself, and when and under some circumstance he was attacked, believed his life was in danger, and he defended himself. I mean, that's the extent of what I can offer to you that I understand from the defense position. But the details, or at what point he would have argued self-defense, or at what point he would have felt that his life was in danger based on what he knew of these individuals' prior history, or what other prior communications or contacts or confrontations they have, I don't have that information, because there's so much stuff out here. The best we can do is suggest more of it is going to come out at trial, more of it is going to come out as discovery is released, and we'll know better why they're claiming self-defense as time goes on.
Yeah,
but I do want to offer, each
Sure.
individual in just about every state in the country has the right of self-defense. That is a right, self-preservation, that each individual has in this country.
If you were defending Carmelo Anthony, and again, there's a lot that we don't know, and there's a lot to your point. I mean, even reading through the police documents, it's witness testimony. It doesn't appear that there was cell phone video of this altercation. So in court, a lot of what will piece together what happened will be from what people who were there saw, and there's not going to be that, well, here's video, let's determine what happened based off of the video. Austin Metcalf's dad, his big question I remember he asked was, why would someone bring a knife to a track meet? And that's something that's been talked about a lot. If you were defending Carmelo Anthony and that comes up in
Hey,
court,
you guys, how you doing? We're
that
going to get a
piece of
look at their house.
that likely he's going to have to face if this goes to trial.
Yep. And certainly the prosecutors will be suggesting and offering the idea that he brought a knife because he expected this confrontation. He was looking for a fight. He was hoping to engage with this individual, which would then argue that this was something planned, almost premeditated. That would be the prosecutor's position. So as a defense attorney, I would be arguing and I would be preparing in such a way that I have witnesses to offer the character of this young man and the character of the alleged victim, so that we have a better view of how the two of their relationship actually was molded and what was the nature.
They had a bad relationship from the neighborhood.
Preparing for argument in self-defense is not focusing on the idea that he had a knife, because I don't know in Texas or in this particular jurisdiction if it's illegal simply to carry a knife. I mean, as I understand it, he was, some reports I've heard, a member of the track team, although I've heard others that said he wasn't, but I've heard he's a member of the track team. And so
now, please like
is that
my
particular
video,
item that he used, the knife,
you.
was that something that he used in order to prepare his shoes? You know, I mean, they're running on asphalt. Do they have cleats? And do those cleats have some need to be sharpened in order to be most effective? I mean, there's any number of ways to argue that the reason that he was carrying that knife had nothing to do with the idea that he was going there looking for this young man, or that a confrontation was premeditated, but that knife or that utility object was being carried for other means and not for the purpose of ultimately engaging in murder or in manslaughter.
The Anthony family held a news conference talking about the threats that they've been receiving. It's the first public statements that they have made.
Let me go right here.
There is a big part of this where, you know, a lot is being talked about in the court of public opinion.
And this video that
if
has
you were
the house
the
on
trial
it.
attorney, how do you approach a case where there is all of this publicity, but at the end of the day, it's going to come down to jurors and whether or not they understand
right here. This is what I've been
the argument the defense is going to put forward. And you can have all the outside noise that's going on and people's opinions and all of this, but eventually it's going to come down to how do you, in front of your defense, manage the publicity that is just continue on?
Mr. Williams is playing music.
Well, that's what you need to manage it. There are courses that we take at seminars and at CLE retreats to talk about how to handle high-profile cases. I've been fortunate in my career, particularly on the bench and off the bench, to handle cases that garner quite a bit of publicity. Most of the time, as a plaintiff's attorney, I'm able to kind of write the script on the issues that are discussed. But there are some times when things start to happen and they are outside of your control. And what the lawyers like myself are taught, and what we teach, is to manage.
Oh God, please.
You know, we're taught in law school, you are the one who actually write the story. Don't let the story be written about you. And so the narrative that goes out is part of what's being managed. When we had that press conference yesterday. I mean, that's the purpose of it. If they stay silent as so many things are swirling around, then they continue to get legs. And that lawyer has to be ever mindful of the risk.
Y'all, this here basically, I'm gonna do the recap. I'll let those there ride. I want to do the recap on the fact that what had happened. Here we go. All this is alleged, what he is saying. Okay. Here we go. Okay, hold up. Ooh. How y'all doing? Y'all, I hope y'all can see this here on the big screen, ladies and gentlemen. Hold up a second.
I've been doing good, my nigga. What about yourself?
Man, I'm good, bro. Happy you could make it. How was your flight?
It was, man, I
Okay,
spent a
no,
day at
it's
the
not
airport. I
gonna
spent a
do
whole
it.
day at the airport. So I had
Here
to,
you go.
yeah. So yesterday, they canceled 1,000 flights.
Who you flying with? Spirit?
All airlines out of Cleveland, 1,000 flights.
Okay.
1,000 flights with American Airlines got canceled today.
Wow, that's crazy, man. So they give you a chance to calm down.
I got even more angry because I had to sleep on the floor for 7-8 hours. I was even more angry, my nigga. Yeah, my bad. I need to grab my lighter. Yeah. I'm on. Yeah. So listen,
you need that tray?
Yeah. Let me. Yeah. This is gonna be a real unique interview.
Okay. How y'all doing out
This
there?
gonna be a real unique interview. Yeah, I done had a chance to calm down.
Okay, so what's the status of you and the Carmelo family?
Me and the status of the Carmelo family? Initially, I went with the Metcalf family. And I'm gonna tell white people, this not for y'all. I'm gonna get back to white people in a minute. This is for black people and niggas. When Carmelo and Austin Metcalf situation happened, black people ignored it. Because at first they thought it was black on black. So black people ignored it. They didn't have no say-so about it. You know how I know? Because I was online for at least 2 or 3 days, almost a week, arguing with black people because I said, fuck Lil Ronnie and the baby Chink, the rapper that had got killed with his baby. This happened around the same time. So when the mother put the GoFundMe on me for the rapper Lil Ronnie, I think the Metcalf family or Carmelo and them family had posted one. So I'm telling black people, y'all don't give a what I say about kids. Because if y'all really care about kids, y'all will be saying something about the kid that got killed out there at the track meet. Black people ignored that. When black people found out that it was a white kid, that a black kid gets a white kid, they immediately started giving to the GoFundMe. So at the time, I was doing a stream with Aiden Ross, and I was telling Aiden about it. And so Aiden donated $10,000 to the Metcalf family. And shout out to Aiden for doing that. I was under the impression at the time that Carmelo had brought a knife to school. So in my mind, if you bring a knife to school, and I don't give a damn if you're being bullied, I don't give a who you're afraid of at school, you need to tell somebody. I won't give a fuck. You walk by too many adults throughout the day going to school, you should tell somebody. So in my mind, this is first degree premeditated murder by a kid on another kid. This kid should get the max. That's what my stance at first, right? Mm-hmm. And you're talking to a guy who was the CEO of one of the most highly recommended youth organization in the state of Texas, which is Hyped About Hype Youth Outreach, was highly recommended to all 254 counties throughout the state of Texas by the Texas Juvenile Justice Department. I founded and ran that organization. So I used to train all the state's juvenile correction officers. It's not a county probation department where I hadn't went and trained in youth development. So, nigga, I create youth program for the state of Texas. So this is my specialty. Not only that, I partner with one of the most powerful and one of the top 5 best murder death penalty attorneys in the nation, and that's a guy by the name of Mitch Nolte. I met Mitch Nolte through a lady who does criminal defense mitigation by the name of Shannon Ross. So along with myself, Miss Ross and Mitch, we've saved plenty of children who've had violent crimes out of Collin County. So this would have been our specialty. Mitch is from Collin County. Shannon knows the judges. I've actually worked in the Collin County courts with the juvenile judges. So I've been there saving kids. So this was my specialty.
Who opens the doors is America's largest
Okay.
healthcare educator.
Okay, let's
The
go.
talent to transform healthcare.
I'm your mother's friend with benefits.
Benefits?
Benefits.
Benefits? Benefits.
Yeah, benefits.
With the Credit One Bank X5 card, you get.
I believe it was first degree murder. Had he took a knife to school because he was bullied, right? So, I say a few days later, maybe a week later, I get a call from a friend and says that the dad wants to book me. The dad wants to pay me $3,000. I think it was $3,000 or $4,000. The dad wants to pay me $3,000-$4,000 to meet with me.
Who dad?
Carmelo's dad.
Okay.
Well, I'm a businessman. He could be booking me for a killing. He could be booking me for a killing. Nigga, I meet up with him, get the money, and I keep the money. I listen to him, I look him in his eyes, and I listen to his story. His story made more sense. His story made more sense.
Oh, the son.
Yeah, it made more sense than what the media was projecting and propagating. You know what really made me not like the father in the beginning?
Why?
And what made me not like the family? He let his wife do all the talking at the press conference.
Okay, I
Not only
said that.
He showed up in front of the world when his son had killed the white kid in Collin County. He showed up in front of the world with Dominique Alexander and civil rights lawyers. They called me. Attorney Cole called me and said, "Hey, Charleston, can you help us promote the GoFundMe?" Nope. I gave to the white folk, the white family, and Kira wrong. I know once I see certain figures, once I know I see certain black figures and black faces, Lee Merritt, Benjamin Crump, Jasmine Crockett, Dominique Alexander, nigga, all these run together. Kim Cole, nigga, all these Freddie Haynes, all these are the hooks and crooks to run together. Nigga, they playing for the money. Ben Crump them, but you know who was the mastermind leader? Sean King. Sean King probably ran off with $1 billion from the Black Lives Matter donation and getting his cut. So once I saw Dominique, I said, man, they playing, homie.
Okay, Dominique is that black guy that was holding the boy hand.
Family with these people. Nigga, man, come to find out they not from here. They don't know nobody from here. Family never been in trouble. This man and his wife never been in trouble. They've never had a son or child. So they don't know what to do. These ambulance chasers went out there and brought them to the lawyers like they always do during a police shooting. Why do you think during a police shooting, you always see Ben Crump or Lee Merritt? You don't see no other lawyers. No other lawyers. In the last 15 years, how much money can you think them niggas done gathered in pocket? You ain't seen no other lawyers. So what they do, they get a community activist, a leader like Dominique Alexander, reach out to the family, and that's how they get the lawyer connection, because it's unethical for the lawyer to pursue it. They got somebody who, hey man, go and get with that family. I used to stop them in Fort Worth. So they've always been my rivals. Because I wouldn't let them come. I used to expose them when they come to Fort Worth. Because one thing about people can always say about me, as long as I've been working and dealing with the people, I've never asked for $1. Not one time. I've never asked for $1, nigga. I've never posted my cash out. I've never created a GoFundMe. Why? The strongest man in the land is the man who wake up and ain't got to ask nobody for a thing. Not a job, sugar, a ride, nothing, a cigarette, nothing. Strongest man in the land. So what I learned to do is to say what I'm gonna do. And because of my character and credibility, people give to what I say I won't give to. So yeah, nigga, so the dad paid me I think it was $3,000 or $4,000. I think he paid me $3,000 or $4,000. Told me the story. I believed him. I still believe it. I went and met with the kid. From the time I met that kid have had my heart. This was not a violent kid. It's not a homie. If I had to describe this kid in a cartoon, I would say this kid is his fleece is white as snow.
Oh my, yeah, God.
Man, just a pure good kid. Smart, intelligent, fragile, frail. Try to seem confident, but self-esteem issues. Dad worked a lot. Dad wasn't always home. Kid don't know how to throw a punch. Articulate, can communicate well, properly, has goals, has aspirations, and being a thug is not one of them. Looking like a thug is not one of them. Behaving like a thug is not one of them. This is one of all our kids. If you can close your eyes, if you have children, if you can close your eyes and think of the best kid around your children, that's this kid. So when I met him,
Chewy Pharmacy delivers pet meds quick, which Chase loves because he has a need for speed.
Thank you guys for coming in.
Hidden value is all. It's in every app.
I initially connected with him. And I knew he was gonna have a hard time being on bond. So I started putting things in place for him. I had him an MMA coach, shout out to Trent, a boxing coach to go out there. I loaded him up with books. One of the first books I gave him and asked him to read is The New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander. It talks about the 1 in 3 school to prison pipeline. 1 in 3 school to prison pipeline. 1 in 3 school to prison pipeline. He went to prison from school. 1 in 3 school to prison pipeline. He went to prison from school. Over 50% of children in the state of Texas are not arrested on the streets. They're either referred or come through school. 1 in 3 will go school to prison pipeline. So let me finish. So the dad always seemed, I don't like victims. I don't like people. I talk to victims and talk to them to be victorious. I hate a black man that see himself as a victim. I hate a black man that poor me. I hate a docile, subservient, a beta male black man. No matter how much respect and likeness I have for you, you can't be that kind of man with me. I hurt your feelings. So I never hurt his feelings, but I was rough with him. See, while everybody talking, there was a time when he needed all these black people with these opinions, all these black lawyers that he said is powerful now. Where was they at then, nigga? They saw you with the same lawyers that you got now. You reached after all these, but nobody there, nigga. They gave you a GoFundMe when the black lawyers and the black people realized they couldn't get that $600,000. Wasn't nobody there, nigga. The white people went in, and because there was so much controversy, and he had so many oppositions in the white Republican conservative world, they put a halt on that money. Only people could touch that money is the lawyers. He couldn't have no access to it.
Oh, hold on, guys.
He couldn't. They would start going up to his job, acting like they want to buy a car. Get to the finance guy and say, hey man, this son killed somebody, y'all better get him out of here. The job didn't fire him, but just for the safety, and they had to let him go in the brand. They had to let him go. He called me crying, homie. I ain't no savior, and I don't give a damn about helping another grown man. But because of my heart for a son, I put him in the car with me.
Okay, so he did lose a job.
I didn't have a position for him. I made him my road manager.
Okay.
I took over the car payments. When he told me, man, they looking for Carmelo truck.
Ooh.
Carmelo had just had a Jeep, or I guess had a red Jeep. He said, they done put a hit out on Carmelo's Jeep. I can't hide it. I said, nigga, I'll take over the payments and I drive it around and let him look for me. I put the target on me, my. So He said they couldn't sleep home. They were moving so much. And because of my heart for my people and because of my heart for this family, they didn't deserve the backlash that they got from the white racist people, the threats, because their son made an impulsive decision. This was not a planned murder. This was not an intent to kill. This was not a well thought out, I want to hurt this. This was not, this was not it. But white people treated it like it was. Not only did he have to move, the judge who lowered the bond, they haven't brought her up yet. She's in hiding. They started threatening the judge is in hiding, nigga. White folks, nigga, now the black judge who they voted in, she no longer is seen anymore. Her life became in danger. So here it is, this black family life is in danger, homie. Didn't you hear that man, didn't you hear Jeff Metcalf say, your mother live in Baton Rouge? We got, nigga, this is still America, nigga, the rural town, nigga. So, man, they called me with tears. Nobody was there because they couldn't get the money. I took care of them. Not that they owe me anything, I never asked for anything, but I put a target on me. So I started going online, fighting everything that was coming after them. Sarah Fields, Jim Lane, the white boy that just got arrested for say go shoot him in the head with the $1 million by now. I made them target me, homie. I started attacking them, saying, man, y'all come after me so this family can sleep and get some peace. I offered to let them stay in my house in Dallas, man, your whole family can stay there. Won't nobody know where it's at. So these people was actively seeking and pursuing them. Real white people, nigga. This Texas. So I took this big right. You used to see me coming at Jeep. Mm-hmm. They were looking for Son's Jeep out there.
Son had a Jeep. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. Let me see what the money.
Then there's heavy duty HD.
You gotta let my son drive that motherfucker. And I knew I should have did it. I would pay him I'll give my son money, nigga. He Uber eating out in their old neighborhood. In the Jeep they looking for. A truck run my son off the road. I ain't said nothing. Cause I ain't want to scream my mama. It didn't dawn on me, fuck, nigga. This shit serious. What happened to me, ho? I was so mad, he think I'm mad at him. Man, daddy truck run me out. So nigga, I'm invested in this shit. This before now. Where was everybody at the end, nigga? Where was everybody at the end? I'm just paying him just to be paying him. I'm paying the car note, nigga ain't got, I don't need this motherfucker, nigga. I ain't need it. Just hipping him, nigga. So he telling me I'm at his beck and call all to the day, all up into the trial, even throughout the trial. I'm at his beck and call. Any hour of the day, I'm at his beck and call. Me and Carmelo texting back and forward. He one of the most positive kids. He's stronger than his daddy. He's stronger than his daddy. Every book I gave him to read, he read it. He's stronger than his daddy. His daddy whining, man, I'm at his beck and call like a real brother. I ain't never making him feel like I'm over him or nothing, man. I'm talking God talk, trying to give him faith I ain't got. Lying to his son, telling him God got it. It's gonna be all right. But I saw that white jewelry and I quivered, shivered. But I told him, nigga, it's gonna be all right. God gonna work through that white jewelry. I was lying. I didn't believe that. But I couldn't tell them I ain't have faith no more. I said, nigga, I lost faith when I seen that. But I'm in this beck and call for a whole year. I I had to tell him, nigga, I'm having fun. Nah, nigga. I gave him my heart. I gave him my time. I gave him my money, and I never spoke on it. For months, this man was saying, man, I feel like this lawyer gonna sell my baby up the road. He telling me this, man. He telling me this. Where you get the lawyer from? Dominique. It's Yellow Beezy lawyer. Nigga, that ain't no murder lawyer, man. That's a doughboy lawyer. Yellow Beezy go lose with him is what I told him. That is young, my man. This white boy they win in liberal courts. Dallas is a liberal town. You can't get no Dallas lawyer and think they finna be big shot shit in Collin County. I know the baddest lawyer in Collin County. Mitch Nolte is what I told him. At that time, it was $500,000-$600,000. I said, I know a criminal defense mitigation specialist named Shannon Ross, who I used to work with. Man, they need to be on this case, homie. Put him in touch with Shannon. Shannon said, we need mitigation. We need defense mitigation. We need that. We don't have to worry about the money. We can get the money later, is what Mitch and them said. He still went with them, homie.
Damn. Still went with the white man. Wow.
He even told me that his lawyer and the DA was once student and teacher. So the prosecutor was head over the DA. The DA never been able to beat him. He told me that. I said, homie, you need to get rid of him. We met on several different occasions. Me, him, and Shannon talked on several different occasions. He stayed with them for whatever reason, homie.
He stayed with the white man.
I ain't stopped having him. I was frustrated and mad about it, homie. But I ain't stopped. I'm taking his son's shoes. I'm taking him, just trying to keep his picture. He's a good kid. Graduation gifts. But nigga, I ain't doing this looking for nothing in return. I really believe that's a good kid. Still to this day. He didn't intend to do that. It's a reason why they ain't released the whole video. It's a reason why America have not seen that video. It's a reason why. With criminal defense mitigation, Shannon would have had an opportunity by way of the courts and Carmelo's rights to interview every kid up under that tent. Why didn't no kids intervene? Why?
Okay.
There's a picture of, they saying Carmelo didn't belong under that tent. Well, if he didn't belong under that tent, why was he up under the tent just the previous week prior with all the same students there? But you know who wasn't there last week? The two Metcalf twins. They were suspended. So they come back and then, this small frame kid was approached by 4 football players, not one white kid. And he never stood up. He remained docile until they started putting hands on him. New kid, new to the area, not a lot of friends, don't know how to fight, no violence in his history, never referral to the principal's office. No one can ever get on the stand and say this kid said anything threatening or anything in his past to now. Just all of a sudden, this one day, this kid is violent and threatening. No. I learned from going to school for psychology and dealing with criminal justice that even when you get in court, they look at what you've done before and add up what you today. Past behaviors have always dictate future action. This kid has no past behaviors of this. If nothing else, negligence, homicide. If nothing else, involuntary manslaughter, but not first-degree murder. Because that's intent. He didn't have any intent. One stab. With what? It wasn't a knife. So the wordplay was very tricky here. When they say a shove, it wasn't a shove, it was a slam on the ground. The mitigating factors is this kid have epilepsy. Any punch to the head, seizure. Too much stress, overwhelming, seizures. So those are the factors. Ineffective counsel, never objected to anything. Should have been a change of venue. Shouldn't have stayed in the county. I told that nigga, man, tell him move it. He said, man, they say we might get a worse jewelry. You ain't gonna get a better one there, nigga.
Enjoy a
wow.
meal plus
Those
premium chicken bites for just $7. It's the
Charles
$7
White
big
is
deal
telling
meal.
why he broke up with the family. He said he never did
Chevy
like
drivers
his
need a
father.
truck that shows up. That's why Chevy Silverado is #1 in manufacturer loyalty. So they...
Oh, please like my video coming in. He said he never
That
liked his
town,
father.
Collin County, is like this new town that's being built that we hear about online. They're just an all-white town and don't nobody live there but white people. That's what Collin County. That was one of the first towns to do that. Yeah, that was one of the first towns to do that. Just 10 years ago, nigga. If you go through Collin County today with a quarter pound of weed, you might still get 10 years in prison. When in most states it's legal. A quart, 4 ounces, 5 ounces, you might still get 10 years. If you listen to the closing arguments of the DA, he wasn't just talking to that little black kid. You know why I'm so angry with that nigga daddy?
That's what I want to get to. Why?
Man, just let me vent, nigga.
Well, do your thing.
Just let me vent, nigga. The prosecutor, when he was getting me to close out, he told Carmelo, look at me. You look up at me when I'm talking to you. This is our town. And nobody's gonna come in. This is a lynching talking. And I ain't making it about race, nigga. But we all know from this around this part, we know what that mean out there, nigga. We know to tap your brakes, cruise control. In some towns, you know, that's a sundown town. If people don't know, if people just really want to know, that's a sundown town. Collin County is a sundown town. So the way he talked to that boy, and me not knowing the daddy left him there alone to take the sentencing,
Yeah, the dad and the mama left.
there's no way I can stand with that man.
Yeah, the mom and daddy walked.
There's no way I can stand next to
They
that
didn't
man.
stay there for the
He
sentence.
left his boy to hang, nigga, by himself. Standing, my boy, when he looked back over his shoulder, daddy, that with you, nigga, with them tears in his eyes, said, you get ready. I won't be, when they hanging the boy. Nigga, can you imagine 17 years old, you don't know nothing about no trouble? You don't know nothing about no trouble? One day you at home with your mama, your daddy, your little sister, nigga. And this kid is innocent, nigga. He don't know about dope, from smoking weed, none of that. One day, you wake up the next day, you in TDC prison. You done skip the process of the county jail of waiting to have to psychologically prepare. You done skip the process of having to detach from what's around this way, nigga. Can you imagine what that little boy feel like, nigga? I cried for him, my nigga. Man, I cried for him, nigga. But nigga, I didn't know his daddy wasn't there. Jeff Metcalf said he was a coward because he wasn't there. Ain't no way in the world I can be seen with that man again standing, fighting for his boy. And he just abandoned that kid, man. I can understand his mama not being there to see it, but not him. I cried for 2 days, nigga, 2 days. I cried like a boy. I had time to practice my walk. I had time to shadow box before they sent me down. I didn't have time for nothing. His mind can't even prepare for this. Imagine your baby just graduated high school one day, and the next day he in hell. If he got to wait
Hello,
2
everybody.
to 3 years on appeal,
Charleston White is
He gonna
telling
be the
why
same
he
kid.
broke up with the
he'll
family.
be a monster. If he got to wait 2 to 3 years, homie, if they can't go get him, hurry up and get him out, get him a appeal bond.
And
He
their
ain't gonna be the
house
same
that
kid when he come
cost
back.
$9,000.
No kid should be there.
90.
Now I hear people say, man, he's 19, man. That boy ain't like, man, that don't mean he grown. So I raised $1 million. They want $150,000 off top to retain an appeal lawyer. I put up 75 off the most I told.
Have questions?
Okay.
Get real answers.
Welcome,
Talk to your
everybody.
doctor.
You guys
Visit
please support me. Thumbs up the
vaccinesforkids.nc.gov.
video. Thank you.
Ever feel your arms just give out mid-workout? Body just won't keep up, and that's why I started using drip.
The first thing Dad said was, we need to start a GoFundMe. Man, shut the GoFundMe down. When he tried to get the GoFundMe, he called me. They shut the GoFundMe down. I said, shit, nigga, that's good. Yeah, nigga, all that big. Now we can show the world for us, by us, with us, of us, or against us. Now we can show the world we can take her on like they do theirs. Chud got $1 million. Derek Chauvin got everybody done something to it. They raised $1 million for him. Let me see if I can do it for you. What I told him. I think I can do it. I got you, nigga. Tell him I got it. Tell him I got him. When you talk to him, tell him I got it. You send him some books to read to keep his mind straight. He called me back and said, man, we didn't even have the medicine. I said, I got the $1 million. I got called from, man, some big name people. And I told them we're not doing no GoFundMe. We're not doing nothing publicly where we got to go. I don't beg nobody asking for nothing. The strongest man in the land. So nigga, I'm a strong. So I can't. So a lot of people don't want to do it publicly because they don't want to be, it's too political. It's race, yeah. So they'll love to give in the dark. So I never came and said anything publicly. In less than 24 hours, I was calling him, saying, hey, we're gonna meet here to get the lawyers the money. We're gonna meet here to get the lawyers the money. So I reached out to a pastor who's not a political pastor, but he has a non-denominational church. He has conservative friends. He has, he's connected and respected. So I said, Pastor, can we meet here, do an interview with Say Cheese TV? The Say Cheese TV interview, I'm gonna put that in his pocket. I'm putting that 10,000 in his pocket. I hit Vlad up. I hit some more people up, Sean Mike Kelly, to get them some interviews. So I hit him Antoine Daniels. So I'm finna put them some initial cash in their pocket, at least 10 to 15, 20, right now. This lawyer money going directly to the lawyers. We're setting this up for Friday. I had a show in Cleveland, so I'm gonna leave Cleveland, come here, meet with them, and get everything set up.
Okay, come on, Charles.
Somebody called and wanted to donate an additional $250,000 to $500,000. They called my agency, but they brought up being Crump. I don't want to do nothing with them, is what I said. So I named some names I didn't want to have nothing to do with. I don't want to have nothing to do with the NAACP. I don't have nothing to do with none of these crooks and hooks. Because where was they last year? They saw this, nigga, they ignored it. I've been screaming this for a year. Now all of a sudden it's some new money involved, it's a new light involved, it's a new thing. I said, no, we can handle this in-house. And we all from Texas right here. We all know one another. We all work with children in this system here. He's new here. We can really help this guy. We can really help this guy. But if you guys come in with this race shit, man, y'all got Texas up. Y'all got Texas up. And when y'all file that first motion for a new trial, they're gonna deny it, and that kid's gonna do about 18 on that 35 now. My game was to change the narrative. I told her daddy, we not finna make it about race. The issue is about the prefrontal cortex, the lack of brain development at his age. The Supreme Court said those are factors to factor in. We worked on a Miller Graham ruling. So we got George Token him out, Eric Brown. So man, the kids who had life without parole throughout the country, this has been the deciding factor of getting them home. Brain development, being impulsive. This was not intent. So I told her dad that was angle. Behind my back, before the meeting, he met with Pastor and asked Pastor, after we pay the lawyer, where's the rest of the money go? Who go handle the rest of the money?
Ooh,
Me, nigga. They giving it to me because they trust me. Why would I give my credibility to you? And they already suspect you've been doing it. He wanted to get the money and then separate from me.
Oh my God.
He said, Unc, I need to move. We'll help you move. We'll help you move. We'll help you move, but then we ain't giving you the money to do it.
Oh.
We're not giving you the money to do it.
Y'all,
Build client credibility with
up there.
Gmail.
Please like the video.
Look professional
like
with a
Cash
custom
App
business
me,
domain
and you go,
and craft
email.
replies faster with Gemini. Well,
This is exciting. Hold on a second. Is there another commercial coming on?
He asked for help during the trial. I'm the one sent Dr. Candace up there. I'm the one that had Dr. Candace, can you go up to him and his family needs you? No protection. It's a white man out there threatening to kill the man, kill the boy. She said, I'm gonna be up there next Thursday. I said, the trial will be over by then, I think, Doc. They rushing this pretty fast. She couldn't believe it. I still be going, so now they rushing this pretty fast. He asked for this help, homie. Only to leave all of us hanging. As if we invaded. Now, he asked for this. We felt like he was worthy of it because of the kid. Not that the kid need to be let go free. But when you look at when you look at all the facts, not the omitted facts, when you look at all the facts, then sit the facts to the side because the facts ain't the truth. That's why the prosecutor got facts, the defense attorney got facts, and each is presenting different facts as their truth. So let's look at all the facts. We'll analyze the facts and we realize that facts are not the truth. Why? What's the truth? Carmelo never got up there. Hunter never got up there. And every kid that was up there never got up there to be cross-examined from their original statements to the police. Not what they're saying today, but the original statements. And when you look at the original statements, you will see everybody up there, including the coaches and law enforcement, change their
Hey there, unapologetic.
perjury.
Charles and White want to control. Yeah,
studied
he
law.
said it.
Texas Western University. Man, I could be one of the best. I'm gonna be a bad motherfucker. But I became
You
a
want
youth
to hold
advocate.
the money too.
Well, I want to be a youth advocate. I want to be Mr. White to the children. And now I'm I realized that attorneys really can't help. They could only maybe save the situation. I really want to be able to help youth. And how do you help youth? You got crime intervention, and then you got crime prevention. Lawyers are crime intervention. I want to be crime prevention, where I prevent our kids from going and needing lawyers, meaning they never get in trouble. So I started focusing on preventative measures, getting out of the juveniles, getting out of school, and then catching them at the house, and then catching them at schools. Why? Because they're going from school to prison now.
Let me ask you something. I saw how you paint this picture for Carmelo Anthony. Now, we're not talking about his father, but we want to stick straight with the child. Where are you at today with your feelings and supporting him?
So I got friends, I got childhood friends, and I got relatives that's very influential in the prison system. It's not a prison you can't go to, and nigga, somebody I know ain't a big dog on that yard.
How do you feel about the boy right
I'm
now?
guaranteed his protection in prison. I'm saying that before the camera. Yeah, nigga, ain't nothing gonna happen. Not in Texas. If anybody touch him that's not black, it'll be a war. It'll be a war. You gotta think, nigga, I grew up in a boys' home. And then I spent 12 years, nigga, in and out of every state juvenile facility in the country, nigga. If not, especially in Texas. All the young and the killers, I met them when they was in elementary, when they was in middle school. I met them at the after-school program, juvenile detention center, the donut dads giveaway. I've been indoctrinating the kids with Mr. Charleston, nigga, since 2012. Them my babies down there that know me, nigga, coming in with them anti-gang cognitive intervention program. All them YN love me. They watch my videos, they call me from the... Yeah, nigga, all these young niggas call me from down there. I done already sent word, say he coming, y'all make sure my baby all right. That's baby, that's what I said, man, that's my heart. That little nigga go be out Johnny Cochran. I told him, y'all make sure he get in the law library. The little nigga been studying law like Unc failed to do. When he graduated from high school out there on this murder bond, he went to college to study law to pick up what Unc couldn't finish. I told him he gonna be our lawyer for the nation, nigga. So all them young be calling me from watching them videos, from the feds to the states, nigga. It ain't a yard you can't go on, nigga, they love me. So say, man, y'all make sure I am. And y'all make sure, now. When y'all come home, I'm gonna make sure y'all like, I can get it to y'all, nigga, but I promise you, this the one, nah. If something happened to him, it's gonna have to be a guard to do it. It won't be a black person. Guaranteed. So yeah, no. See, people think I just be talking on the internet. I started in a boys' home, creating alliances as a kid. Then at one point in time, they let me go inside the juvenile facilities in the prison. I was a part of the prison entrepreneurship program.
Chewy Pharmacy makes it easy to order pet meds, which Enzo loves because he likes everything the easy way.
1 second.
Expedia is the place to bundle and save on flights, hotels, and cars. Expedia, the one place you go to go places.
Okay.
I was coming in whispering in girls. And then at one point in time, nigga, I used to teach classes at the adult parole office off McCart in Fort Worth, Texas. Criminal justice wise, in Texas, nigga, I'm the face of it. They know that. So now, nigga, once I put my stamping hand on that kid, nigga, he all right. He's mountable, he respectful, so he gonna be all right. He just psychologically gotta get through.
Okay, so I saw you on the internet today going off about the money. So are you gonna still help him get out?
No, I ain't getting my mama say, son, why you got to put up that much money? I said, Mom, if I put up this much money, other people will too. What about your family?
Yeah.
Mama wanna know. What about your family? Not that you shouldn't, that's what God put on your heart. But you ain't got to get that much, son. Why you got to care? You been carrying it over the family the whole time. So the people who had the money ready to direct it to my account, I told them nope. A popular major rapper said, hey, call and say, Charles, is he really serious? You really getting off? Yeah. And y'all seen this rapper say Yeah. There's some big name rappers said they was gonna give. Some big name rappers that said they was gonna give. And because I backed out, they've backed out. Because nigga, people really, if you really Google my name and really look up and research me, my character and credibility speaks for itself when it comes to this type of shit. So, am I still gonna help him? Of course I'm still gonna help him. With my money? No.
Oh.
I'm gonna send him books to read. Cause I don't think they know how to come for this appeal, cause they making it about a white jury. If you go try to make it about a white jury, you lose. Why? The lawyer participated in the jury selection. And there's nothing on record for him objecting. Not only that, they didn't give you all white people. They gave you some Mexicans, some Asians. They gave you some minorities. Checkmate, niggas. Niggas don't want to look at the skin color. Checkmate, niggas. Yeah, white with Latino ethnicity. White with Asian, Pacific Island ethnicity. So, no, we put other minorities on there.
Have you ever seen an all-black jury before?
Never. They'll never let an all-black jury happen.
That's crazy.
Never. So this is how I plan on helping. I made some shirts that white people can wear.
Oh my God.
I called my lawyer, Blanca Greenstein, my Jewish attorney, and I said, hey, can you, I need to trademark watermelon felon.
Is it called?
No. I told my lawyer I need to trademark watermelon felon, because that's what I heard his dad say. Hey, I got a new name for Carmelo since you think you should. Watermelon felon. I said, boy, that's pretty catchy. Yeah, a little Barney Rubble, that's pretty catchy. Little shop fat motherfucker, that's pretty catchy. So I said, God damn it, you know what? I'm gonna make some adjusted for a Carmelo shirt. I said, no, I ain't gonna wear that. I need some shirts for white folk. Because right now, no matter how we feel, Carmelo is a convicted killer, a convicted murderer. So we can't change that fact. Because I respect the law, I respect due process, I respect a jury's decision, no matter how I feel about it. I respect the fact that he went through a jury decision so he can have all his rights. Do I like the decision? No. How can you argue with he went to jury trial? Did I believe all white jury could be so cold? Not today. Because Collin County is not an all-white town anymore. But that's just on the surface looking. That shit was orchestrated from start to finish. Me and black people wasn't paying attention. So I don't give a how they feel about what I'm saying. I've been there when y'all ignored it. Y'all was stuck on Lil Ronnie and Chink. Do you know it was someone from Collin County Court that was releasing the family's information to journalists and other people? They was going in and when he was bonding out of jail, it was somebody that was inside the court system that was doing that and got caught. She got caught and got suspended. Everything about them people being released.
Get this exceptional.
So nigga, I'm selling them shirts for white people. I'm making them shirts. White people need some shirts. They want the watermelon felon shirt. They just can't have a site that they can buy and sell it from. Because if they would, they'll protest it and try to shut it down. Black people can't protest me and say, man, we don't want them shirts. Yeah, nigga.
So if Carmelo Anthony reach out to you personally and say, hey, I need you to help me get an appeal attorney, are you gonna help him? What you gonna tell him?
Nah, homie. Your dad and them, I can't disrespect your parents. I can't do that, homie. Why? Because for you to make the decision, you have to make it with them.
Oh,
Yeah, nah, I honor a nigga mother and father, but nigga. As much as it hurt me, nigga, I tell people all the time, nigga, kids have to suffer based on their mother and father's decision, no matter what I'm connected to them about. The world's gonna treat you according to who your mother and father is.
So what's your thoughts on that 35-year sentence when he handed it down?
Boy. As long as it seems, he's still young when he come home. It's a typical juvenile sentence. So in the state of Texas, a juvenile can be sentenced up to 40 years for a crime, for a felony crime. So most of my had 40 years, 30 years, 35 years when we was kids. So for the judge to give that, it's not a harsh, extreme sentence in Texas. That's normal for a teenager, even if they was a juvenile. They would, a juvenile with a murder case would get 35, but couldn't get no more than 40. So he stayed in the range that most juveniles would get if they was in juvenile court. So I kind of peeped the play on that.
Okay.
Yeah. Shout out to the judge, by the way.
Okay, let's switch gears for a second. So Jeff Metcalf.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had some choice words for you.
As he should have. As he should have. All seriousness, man lost his son, my nigga. And I took the side of the guy who murdered his son. Where in the beginning, I was with Jeff. You know I was with Jeff in the beginning? For one, I thought Carmelo was guilty from premeditated murder from taking a knife. Even after I found out it wasn't premeditated. Jeff showed up with a forgiving heart, and can't nobody take that from me. Swear to God, nigga. How mean he looked behind them glasses. His words was, he had a forgiving heart, homie. And that's what really stuck with me. I saw them up there playing the race card. I said, no, man. I even told Carmelo that, nigga, let's try to. He said, man, I don't know if you're trying to kill him or not, man. We had to kick him out. A man showing up with a grieving heart in front of the world. All black people. 2 kids have an incident, and you got black people, adults, acting like they mad about what kids was doing and rejected that man in such an ugly, nasty way. Dominique them did. I'm talking about homie rejected that man in such an ugly, nasty way. You know what I told Carmelo's dad? You had your wife up there talking, the whole press conference. Nigga, I said, nigga, you look, and y'all kicked the man out, homie. The man said, I said, come, we can still, nah, homie. So, if I come to you trying to make something right, and I got the right to be mad about what I'm not mad about, and you reject me, I'll hate you.
Oh.
I'll hate you. So I understand how you feel. I understand how you feel about me. I came because I saw, man, this is 2 families up. And they done let this dad play the race card. They done up. So this family became a target with no protection and no security. So my convictions as a man, my convictions as a black man, my convictions as I'm gonna get him some protection, even if I got to do it. So I went to the internet.
Go ahead and extend those legs nice
Okay,
up towards the ceiling. Oh, Lacey, let's go ahead and
we are
reach those legs
doing
nice and long. And how's Wally, by the way?
This is Charles White broke up with the family. Okay.
Chevy driver shows up the same way they do. That's why Chevy Silverados.
Okay, let's go back. Why he broke up with the family.
And I made myself a target. But, you know, I said some things to Jeff. I said some things to Sarah and them. I went all the way off. So this family, oh, y'all. And so, and they targeted me too. But I could take it. So you got every right to be mad. Every goddamn right to be mad. And can't nobody be mad at him for being mad. No matter how much his hate spill over, no matter how much he's projecting through interview, he got that right because his son in the ground. And like I used to tell, hey, the boy's still alive. My mama wouldn't let us feel sorry for ourselves. I wouldn't give a fuck how they bad they mistreat you. Do they have a right to do it? No, you still human, but you're alive. I still get to come down here and hug you. I can still get a phone call from you. That other family, they ain't got that, so you have to always remember that and have empathy. So you can't always make it. You can't be the victim and your son is there as the murderer. And you've been making so now. So I heard what he said, and I thought it was funny and comical. Yeah, I thought it was funny. Yeah, I thought it was funny. And I think me and him can get along. And I think I'm gonna fight him or his son so they can get it off their chest. Yeah, I'm gonna get in the ring and either me and Hunter go fight, or me and Lil Barney go fight, me and Lil Jeff. But yeah, nah, man. As a father, when I look at this black father and I look at this white father, and I had to pick which one I stand with based off energy, I'm going to the alpha little white man with the anger and with the hate for I call you nigga, whatever. Why? I didn't want to play this game. I tried to, he's telling y'all this, homie. And I watched him and I studied him. And he's being honest, he didn't. White people didn't bring race into this. These local Black Lives Matter did. That's always done it, that's always known for it. They come into your cities, they come into your towns with the big fancy Black Lives Matter lawyer. They cause a division between blacks and whites. They get to go fund me money, they split it up, and they leave y'all fighting with each other. And they go on with the money. And that's what happened. The Dallas County lawyer got their money, went back to Dallas County. I'm sure he gave Dominic Alexander a cut for the referral. $600,000. I'm sure Dummy got. So, man, Jeff, you have every right to feel what you feel, Jeff Metcalf. You have every right to feel what you feel. You even got the right to say what you're saying, my nigga. And can't nobody be mad at you. I know I ain't. I went through an emotional roller coaster. If something hurt me, I don't let it hurt me long. I'm a man. I didn't leave the house for almost 2 days. I stayed in the house and nigga, I went through a roller coaster ride. Just like every other person that goes through the grief process. First you're hurt, first you're shocked. First you're shocked. Then once you get through the shocking phase, then you hurt. So nigga, if you watch me in 2 days, nigga, I was shocked. Like, damn, nigga, lost for a word. Then the hurt hit. I'm processing it, because I ain't trying to stay there. After the hurt comes anger. After the anger, and you get through that, comes clarity. You can laugh about it. Think about your person. You know, that's how people, when your family member gone, at some point, you get to a point where you can laugh about the things y'all used to do that made you laugh. But when you're grieving, you can't. It make you cry more. So, yeah, I'm at the laughing phase. I had to detach from Carmelo. I couldn't stop thinking about what he was thinking about. I couldn't stop thinking about what he was feeling. He can't call home now. He can't make a phone call for 30, 40 days. then when they showed them pictures of it, nigga, they don't cut your hair off in TDC no more. They taking this to a rib. You know why? Because these cities playing for the GoFundMe, put the race on this kid. This kid time for to be extremely hard. You talking about, oh, he might not get beat up, but they're gonna mistreat the out of him psychologically. Why you think they upped and sent to prison within 24 hours after, nigga? That's never happened. Never. Then he went to 3 different facilities, kind of like diesel therapy. They didn't know where he was. Why? They still had him listed in the infirmary in Collin County. Then they sent him to a prison bird unit where a Metcalf is a warden. Then he went to PAC. Isolation. They don't shave your hair no more. They don't do that no more. They shave here though. Psychologically frying that little boy. And he can't talk to nobody right now. But shout out to the warden at the PAC unit. Shout out to, I don't give a damn what y'all say, it's some good white people, homie. Shout out to the warden to see this frat kid, homie, to let the mother and father talk to him.
Yes, the warden did. He's supposed to.
Communicate in over 65 languages with Gemini and Google Workspace.
Oh my God.
Translate all your meetings and messages in real time with AI in Google Meet and Chat. Understand each other instantly with Google Workspace.
Let's go.
Yeah. Shout out to attorney Oliver Brown, who came in, probably 1% of lawyers have ever won in the appellate court. He's one of them in Texas, out of Harris County. Mitch Nolte, with the top 10 best criminal defense lawyers, murder cases, death penalty cases in Texas, if not in the country. Shannon Ross, Miss Brendan Ross, a family of mitigation specialists. Mr. Antoine Salas, the credit genius, who immediately started working on their credit. This a lot of people came forward. GG unit. Yeah. A lot of people came forward. Yeah. A lot of people came forward. And I know people say he's in the prom now. A 17 and a 19-year-old is still one mind. It ain't grew that much in 2 years. Look at your 17 and 19-year-old. You ain't finna let them go deal with white American court system by themselves. He still needs some input and guidance. So I had to detach my nigga. In order for me, I had a great comedy show, but it was hard. It was hard, nigga. Nigga barely fuck. Think about that little boy. Nigga can't even be sexually stimulated. Nigga, think about that little boy. You know me too, nigga. Man, nigga. Because it's like if your son, it's like, man, I connected with this kid, man. This kid will comfort me at times. And I be saying, nigga, stop worrying about me, uncle. Nigga, this kid got compassion. And psychologically, I know what it's doing. What happened to him is the reason we're afraid of death. You don't know where you're going. Just one day, you up doing this, and the next day, you don't know where the hell. That's why we're afraid to die. Because one day it's gonna boom, and death gonna come get you and take you somewhere, and ain't nobody gonna answer no question. You going by yourself. That's like dying. Where I'm going, ain't nobody telling you where you're going. Nobody's telling you where you're going. Nobody's telling you where you're going. Well, what am I supposed to do when I get there? Nobody's telling you what to do when you get there. Damn. So you just graduated. So, all I'm gonna say, nigga, is no child is born bad. And it clearly wasn't a bad kid. Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on Dominique with the band Black Action News?
Next Generation. I know all of them. Kim T. Cole, I know all of them. They play for the money. They GoFundMe. That's why everything's about a GoFundMe in the beginning. Hey, we need to raise money. That's why everything's about GoFundMe. That's why everything's about race. That's why they mad about everything. And you can't have a out front like Dominique with child abuse convictions.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, I need with child abuse conviction, homie. No, man.
Okay, well let's switch over to this because I need to have your thoughts on this.
Yeah.
Rick Child was found not guilty of murder of that 14-year-old Beltane.
Okay. Kid has some video pictures of him flashing guns, so known for having a gun. Took off running. Never stopped running. They wasn't chasing him with a gun. Free, nigga, free. They didn't come out them shooting. Why was he running so hard? Why? Why I can't? If you hadn't done nothing wrong, why are you running so hard out of that store? And you know for having one.
Well, Rick Child ain't know he had one.
Everybody know the hoods. The hood store know everybody. You know the people work at the hood store know which all our nigga coming up with the gun. They come. We know each other. Come on now.
Okay, but let me ask you this: do you think
Chewy Pharmacy delivers trusted meds at low prices, which makes pet life a little more affordable.
I think I'm... Okay, cool.
Wondering what the standard deduction means? This edition of Tax Tips by TurboTax has the answer. The standard deduction.
Okay, here we go.
that young man and Rick Child, the old head, could catch up with that young boy?
His son chased him down.
And I think that
his son chased him to catch him. Why? We know the little nigga that got the guns. His son working back there, he probably comes from a weed, buy a cigar, black. We engage one another in our communities. So he probably already done something. That's why, homie, Carmelo was a kid you can look back and say, hey man, this kid don't have nobody saying nothing about him, criminal. This little boy wasn't so. I look wild at 14. Especially at them Arabs and them Asian stores. Standing outside, hey, look at our school, I got the gas. But they said, yeah, nigga, they unruly when they go in there. And they got the thukas in their back. So, nigga, them people see that and they remember that. We acting like we don't see it.
But you feel like he was justified for shooting him?
I didn't say that. Why you keep running? I told my son one time, during the pandemic, he snuck out, go get into the police at the light. My son ain't never been in trouble. We on curfew, lockdown. He just take out running because he see the police. What you run for? I don't know what police are. Police wasn't paying him no mind. But police still running. Yo, don't go get you. When he got out, he spent one night in boys' home that night. When he got out in front of my mom and him, and his grandma and him, you know, I told her, they should have shot you.
Oh.
They should have shot you. Mama says, oh, son, don't say that. For real, mama could run in front of the police, they shoot you. Why you running? Well, you got something now, why you running? You know what got me with Carmelo O'Neal? Why you take it to school? Why you have it?
What?
Even though it was a tool, why? And I could never get an answer.
You ever asked him that?
What did he say?
Daddy too. Why? Why did he have it?
Why did he have the tool?
Yeah, I don't know. Like that.
Why?
I don't know. That's first.
Was he getting bullied before then? If he was, then this is murder. Yeah. If he was getting bullied anytime before that day, and why they pick him? So I start saying, man, they're not telling me everything.
I said the same thing.
Nigga, I'm putting my life on the line with these white folks, these rednecks. Nigga, I'm putting business relationships online. They're not telling me everything. So the nigga let me pull away. And I tell him everything.
I just don't believe that if he call you and ask you to help bond him out or get a lawyer, you gonna say no.
I can't, nigga.
I don't believe you'll tell him no.
I have to tell him no. If a judge have to go in hiding, why would I risk that for me and my family? If a judge had to go in hiding, homie, why would I go through this again, getting my shows canceled? Cause yeah, you know what I mean? Nah.
All right, so what are your thoughts on Texas man sentenced to 45 years for stealing a Lego?
His priors got him. As they said, it ain't the Legos, it's what you've done all the way up to now, nigga. Yeah. So, it's fair.
Okay.
It's fair.
Okay, now we about to get into this entertainment. Just recently, and I want to know your thoughts on this. Rick Ross was caught flying commercial to Colombia, and you know he have a jet. So you think that's something bad?
Mm-mm. He probably saved $60,000, $56,000. Fuel, pilot. Yeah.
Okay. Thoughts on Drake beating Michael Jackson on a billboard? So is he the new king of pop?
Mm-mm. He the king of rap right now.
Drake?
Yeah, he the king of rap right now.
You listen to his music?
Yeah, hell yeah.
So you riding down the street bumping Drake?
Yeah. You and the Six, I keep that on repeat.
Oh yeah?
Him in the game with that 100, 100. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I bump shit out of it.
You be bumping that thun.
on
You
to
bump
something
that
else.
too?
What's that?
Kendrick Lamar.
Nah, I don't bump that.
So just recently they showed Michael Jackson verdict on a documentary on Netflix showing his child allegation trial while his movie is set to reach $1 billion. What are your thoughts on that?
The forecast is heating up.
Hold on, stop.
Your project can't
Sorry
slow
about
down.
that, you guys.
United Rentals has the right cooling solution to keep you comfortable on the job.
Oh.
United Rentals. Work united.
Hold on a second, child.
Hidden value is all around you.
Now, let me go back over
It's in
here.
every app.
Let's go. Let's go. Okay.
Everybody making money off Mike. There's another entity making money.
Man, you need to get together do one day. No, we'll make some money. You say?
Well, they just making up shit.
Okay.
They just making up shit.
All right.
Yeah, nah, just making up shit.
Okay, so I'm Atari, and my channel is The Sweet Life of Atari. And I talk a lot about like gender war, like the men and the women and stuff like that. So I guess my first question is, who is the prize?
Who is the prize?
Yes, out of the men and the women.
The one God made for her. The other one just a helper. And that's biblically.
That's according to the man's Bible.
Well, I didn't know the women had a Bible.
Okay.
Yeah, I know the women had a Bible.
Okay. No, you're right. So this is patriarchy, so.
Yeah.
Okay. So why do you feel like the man is the prize besides the Bible? Like, what do they do so special?
What do men do so special?
Yes.
They create life.
But when you look at the hospitals, it's no men in there pushing a baby out. It's only women in there pushing babies out. So
I planted the seed. You just the dirt. I got the seed to go in the dirt.
That's interesting.
I got the seed to go in the dirt. So I carry the seed before you get it.
So this science basically say that the woman has the egg and the man just fertilizes the egg. So and there are some women who can get pregnant without a man. I forgot what the name of the term is called, but they have something like that as well.
I've never seen that happen in life.
I've never seen it happen either, but there was something that took place back in the day.
Is that the man saying or the woman saying?
Science.
So is it man science or woman science? Hold on. Listen.
Okay.
Because when I told you what God said, you said, is that the man's Bible
Right. The Bible has been interpreted from many different languages.
I'm done, gangster. I don't want to have relationship talk, nigga. Man, nigga, I ain't got time for this bullshit. Nigga, I'm finna go. Nigga, I ain't got time for this bullshit, nigga.
Okay.
Yeah, nigga, my mind way too intellectual to be talking this bullshit ass talk. Nigga, man, come on. Now we gonna be real. Let's be real.
Okay.
You didn't run that question?
No.
I'm about to say we can do it again in New Orleans, man.
All right, so what's your thoughts on P. Diddy sex tape with 50 Cent baby mother and all the baby oil he had?
I didn't see the baby oil.
You didn't see that? You saw the sex tape?
No. As soon as I clicked on it, it was a silhouette with a long ass, and I clicked off, and I ain't watch it no more.
Okay.
Yeah, I ain't watch it no more.
Thoughts on Kai? What is that? Kai Sinet? Kai Sinet? Or Streaming University returning?
Hey, just get Joker back. Just get Joker back. Just get Joker back.
Okay.
This ain't iconic. Constant Streaming University.
Okay,
Constant
y'all,
Streaming University, from what I've been seeing, is watered down.
Hold on.
It's
Let's
not.
go here.
And streaming is.
Come on. Okay. The reason why that he got mad with the father is because that the father, after he of course, that yes, how am I gonna say this? He basically nobody want to hang with the family or nothing when it first happened. I had covered this when it had first happened. Nobody want to hang with the family. So all of a sudden now, when all this money started coming up, in this case for the black people, y'all, it just basically spinning out of control. Let's say in the last 3 weeks. But this boy been in trouble about this thing here. But I passed the video. The house that their mama had bought was $900,000. You know, that was, I would say it was $1 billion home. Some people call it $1 billion, but not $1 billion. Excuse me, $1 million. But anyway, it was 900,000 that she made. But still, yet I can understand with his job. He is calling around to all his friends to get help on this situation. I got to get on that. Okay. Okay. He calling around every which way trying to help out, see who can help out on this situation. And nobody's not speaking up last year when it happened. And it happened. I remember him talking about it. I remember when it happened. 3 weeks now to up to date. Not everybody want to speak on it. Just because you know what? It's a money grab situation. The father, yes, I told you. And then again, I don't know if I did. So right now I'm going to say that I live. Everyone was saying that the father, hello, a second. Come on. Everyone was saying that the father was stashing back some money. When he started asking him about the money situation, let me slip my hip up. Woo, boy, thank God that was a good one. After he started asking, how's my ear doing? Hold on a second, you guys. I'm gonna show you me in a minute. I thought I was up here. Okay, here we go. Let me just put that down. Okay, come on here, me. Okay, hey everybody. Ooh, this will be all right. Okay, I had a feeling too, y'all. I'm telling you what I had saw when this happened a year ago. The father had ran and took $300,000 and they transferred it somewhere else. That deal was all showed. Now the black people, the 3 weeks of basically like with this going on. These just the people that basically just heard about it. They just heard about it, did in fact with it. But did in fact in Texas, this stuff been happening. Not everybody jump on. He said that don't get being crunk. The reason why I don't get being crunk, see money. Mm-hmm. He told him that the man that he had went and got, the lawyer that he went and got, he was an lamb chaser. He deal in drug crime. This ain't this here. This not this here. He paid Charles and White, I think Charles and White like about $3,000. And also too, he lost, people would play like they looking for a car. And the daddy was a salesman, a Mercedes-Benz salesman. And the people would get in the finance room and switch out telling the business. So it was too much going on at the man job. So they had to tell him, hey, take a break. Bye-bye. This is too much with the camera and all of them basically chasing them around. Okay, yes, that judge that had, we've been seeing that judge for a while. Yes, they had to put her in hiding and had to get the FBI in charge. I want you guys to know you sold freelancer damn doxer. Look what happened when they doxed her. Took it straight to the FBI. So all this here keep knocking at the damn court door and all that. Won't you just get a list of damn paper, who all and what they did, and take it over to the FBI? How about you doing that? Doxing is a federal crime. Doxing is a federal crime, ladies and gentlemen. That's what doxing is. Did in fact with Charles and White. Charles said that those that just coming in here, he never did like the father. But he basically was trying to deal with it because dealing in fact with the kid. He said the father is very, very sneaky. The father don't want to talk. He pushed the wife to do everything. He said that he can look in the father's eyes and can tell that the father was lying to him. He said that the father said that they were going to repo his truck. He let his son, his personal, Charleston let his personal son drive the truck over in the area where they say that they were going to mess him up at. Even down to Camelia. He had Mello. He had a car too. When he told the man that he had to, that he was going to move, that they had to move, he didn't have no idea that this how extravagant they want the news move. He said that was the father. Amen. He said that was the father. So he said, okay, y'all want to do a little come up? He said, okay. The father came out and said that they had locked the money. They locked the money when they seen that 300,000. The father as I remember in my mind, the father hit 300,000 3 times. I thought one of them supposed to be in his brother's name, supposed to be in a family member name. Y'all, I remember this case. I remember this case because I was covering the Diddy trial. I was covering the turkey hunt and this case here. And I told you guys I was going to keep my eye out, but I was just like the other lady. Now, when he said about that lady, Candace is the lady that wear the cowboy hat. A lot of people saying that why Al Sharpton think about Al Sharpton don't ran his race. Okay? He don't ran his race. It's time to pass the torch to somebody else. Janet, what's her name? Crockman. What is her name? Her name is Jasmine Crock. Jasmine couldn't get involved in this because she is with the government. Okay, she couldn't get involved with this. She couldn't email advice or nothing in this situation. She couldn't because and then she no longer practicing law. She can't give nothing. When Jasmine Crock had spoke, Jasmine Crock didn't know what the hell that she was talking about. What she was answering, what she was talking to, and she was right. She said that I got to work. She said I got to work, and I have a 9 to 5. Basically, what she's saying is she got other things to do, but she came out to throw shade. But what what Crockman said, it did not go along with the story and the answer that was asked to her. So over, you gonna tell she wasn't paying. She heard about trial. She wasn't paying no attention to it. Okay. The man that they sportsman, that's the one that had that child abuse charge on him. Okay. He been to jail too. So y'all, I'm gonna keep my eye on this here. The other man I was looking at law and order. I think that's what it was. Anyway, that they the one had went and showed the house. They had showed the house and everything. I understand what Charles and White was talking about, but Charles and White gives me that everybody, he been here from the beginning. He got paid $3,000. Everybody else getting big. Hey, boo, come on in here. Sure, come on in here and close that door. Hey, come on now. It's getting to me that Charles and White shows to me that you know how a kid, you don't do what I say, I'm gonna pick my toys up and I'm gonna go home. Figure it out yourself. How you gonna get more marbles and a new truck? I ain't playing with you no more. I don't like how you moving, but that's how Charleston White is moving. So he said that he didn't like that, didn't fight with the lawyers. He gave him a group of lawyers, and still, yeah, he went down and got this here Amalam chaser, and the lawyers, not no defense, no criminal lawyer. This is what he choose to get after he don't gave him a list of names to basis to get. So you know what, as far as I'm concerned, the man was Charles and White gave him a job basically to ride him to be his driver, to ride him around. To me, myself, Charles and White, more like that than you were working for the man. Charles White got into his feelings. When the verdict came in, the mama wasn't there and the father wasn't there. Now, yes, I can understand that the mother being all choked up, you know, and not want to hear it, you know. But with the daddy should have stayed there right by his son's side. He did not. He walked out, and maybe probably going to look for the mom. Anyway, he walked out. A time like that, when they gave that boy that time, that boy was shaking so bad, he turned around and looking for his dad just to get a father hug. And the daddy couldn't be there. I told y'all something about that not right. Something about it not right. But Charleston White said that he had saw. Please, y'all, please thumb up my video and share me. And thank you. Charleston White said that the man was sneaky. That he was sneaky, and that man loved it money. He was very sneaky. So Charles White said he won't get off the $75,000. And I don't know why Charleston White did so much for the family. Why you ain't ask him about the $700,000? And did the people know that you had? Did he know that you had him on loudspeaker? It's a bad deal. Charles and White, you don't came and did your interview and you not indicate. Just shut your mouth. Just shut up. Just shut up. Let them ones that want to jump in it. You already don't got a taste of it, and knowing that them people listen to everybody. They listen to everybody. Okay, you was there by their side through everything. Even put his son through a school to teach him how to fight. They said that the daddy worked all the time. Of course not. He made himself busy when he know that you was coming to town. That's what he did. But no, the daddy worked his time, and maybe some late. But other than that, just work all the time. They sound like that daddy remind me of my husband, go from job to job. So Charles and White to me basically is in his stealing after all that I did, man. And I told you about the lawyer. You decide you're gonna get this Amalam chaser. This is a lawyer that dealing with drugs. You don't need that. He told him. He had told him. So anyway, you guys, I had to come out here. I got to get another bottle of water. Whew. I'm so sorry, y'all. You know what? I have to have at nighttime about 2 bottles of water. And they got to be full bottle. Because there'd be a half a bottle, I'm going to drink it just like that. I am going to continue to talk about this story and talk about other story as well. Y'all right now is into my story time. I got some love cards that came in. We gonna do something. I don't know what I got. I don't have nothing to do tomorrow. Nowhere to go. I hope that I can get this here phone fixed. It's a new phone that I got came in. Hope that I can be able to dial out on it. It gives me everything. It give me everything based on it, but the problem is that it ain't letting me dial out on it. That's the only thing it's not doing, not letting me dial out. You guys, we have to. Ooh, is this the right phone? My God. My God, my God. Wait a minute. Hold up. Hold up. What's going on here? Wait, let me see something. I can't believe that this is happening. Hold up. It's a mobile network. I'm not available. This is what it's saying. Okay, it don't start loading up information in here. I know I kept on hearing it saying noise, but now I got to do that. I love this phone. You guys, please check me out on TikTok. That's hashtag DEE Milton. Okay, y'all go over there and subscribe to me over there. Follow me over there and see me do my thing. And also, too, you can find me on Facebook, Milton Dovey 92. You know what, parents? Let me tell you something. We love our children. They would not tell what I had always said. Y'all haven't heard everything. The mama gave the boy the knife. The mama did. It was told when it first happened. The mama did. When Charleston asked the daddy who gave him the knife and what he doing with the knife to go to school, the daddy won't answer him now because it was the parents. It was parents. Yes, they had a history together, but they still went to 2 different schools. Daddy, if you know that them white boys that wild and bullheaded, you supposed to have been there at them track meet. Because you ain't just heard about track meet overnight that you couldn't arrange your schedule. Y'all just was arguing the night before they came on around now. And you think so it was all right to just let your child. I think that you got your priority mixed up, and this is most money that y'all ever seen and had in y'all life. And you wanted, even when Charleston White told the daddy, no, I'm not giving you the money. We're going to send it back to the people. Charleston White said he can tell how the daddy was moving in. The daddy didn't like that. Because the daddy want the money. I got some more video. My eyes don't got heavy. More video where Charleston White talking about the money in like little things. Little things to them, but big things to us dealing fact with money. He was giving out money to people, but even behind Charleston White, I'm back. And Charleston White supposed to be there helping them. Even behind his back, he was giving out money. Charleston White paying him, but he's still going in the GoFundMe, getting that money. When they seen that when they locked down that GoFundMe, it went on. People had bought that a $900,000 home. Some people say it's $1 million, but it's $900,000 home. And they had bought 2 new cars. But I think I don't know if they bought 3, but when they showed us the house, it was 2 white cars and another truck was coming up, like a big SUV. It was coming up. So anyway, that's all that I got. I'm still working on my phone. Cheryl, you guys, thank you once. Y'all know what time I'm coming on, about 12:30. Y'all, I thank y'all once. Cheryl, come back and see me. Don't let it take so long, girl. So please, you guys, please, and also y'all start commenting. Okay, start leaving me a comment because they also too checking on that. Okay, so anyway, thank y'all. I'm not sleeping, but my eyes is heavy. Anyway, you guys, I thank you, and remember, he left that man because the man was doing sneaky stuff. That's why he left the man. But he said he never did like the daddy. But he would basically put up with the daddy because of that. Okay? But he got word on the town how much this man was pulling out. But you told him you couldn't pay your bills and couldn't get the boy doctor prescription. But you can go and pull out all this money for this person. That he did all that behind Charleston White back. So Charleston White couldn't deal with you doing too much sneaky stuff. Charleston White said he very, very sneaky, the daddy. And he pushed the mom up to say everything. He said that he didn't like that. Then when that guilty verdict came in, he had took off. Anyway, you guys, y'all have a good evening, and I'll see y'all in a little bit. Okay, bye-bye. Oh, where? Oh, yeah, okay.